Alright, so this is the OnePlus Nord, and I've been using this for more than a week as my primary device now, and I've got quite a lot of impressions to give you guys about the performance, the battery, and basically everything that the phone had in the week of me using this as my daily driver. So in this particular video we are gonna cover 6 topics regarding the phone, and each topic will have its pros and cons. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. So first things first, we are gonna talk about the fingerprint scanner. And personally, I am a huge fan of the optical sensor, and prior to this device I was using the iPhone XR as my daily, and in this pandemic it has been difficult to unlock my iPhone XR easily without removing my mask. So this optical sensor which is on the front comes in handy while unlocking the phone. You don't have to take off your mask or anything, you just have to do one thing. You have to tap once and place your finger and the phone will be unlocked. But the one thing I don't like about this sensor is it actually takes a half a second pause before unlocking the phone. So if you see, if I just double tap and if I unlock, it takes a half a second to actually process the finger and then unlock the phone. So there you can see, even if I put my thumb here, there we go, it takes half a second and then it unlocks the phone. There we go, half a second and it's there. This is the only thing I don't like about the fingerprint sensor, but other than that I have got no complaints whatsoever regarding the fingerprint sensor, and it works really good. So I have added 4 of my fingers to this and it works completely fine. I've got around 95% unlock rate. Sometimes it struggles to unlock, but again, that's not a big deal. It's just if my fingers are wet or if I fail to actually put it on the sensor, only then it will not unlock the phone. But other than that, everything works pretty fine. Also, another thing, I have heard a lot of people saying that the sensor placement is at a little lower than they would actually prefer. Again, I agree with them, and I think it is actually a bit lower. I would have liked it a bit higher, a little bit higher, but nonetheless it works fine and I have got no complaints of the sensor itself. So now coming on to the build quality, and the build of this phone is actually really good. The glass at the back and at the front is really strong, and in the week of me using the phone, I have seen no scratches on my phone, not even minor scratches either on the back or on the front. So the glass on the front and the back is really good and I've got no complaints about it. But I've seen a lot of people complaining about the plastic sides, and in my personal opinion, I see no issue with the plastic sides. Yes, it does feel a little cheap, but people anyways put cases on their phone, so it doesn't actually make sense of people complaining about the plastic sides, because people put cases on their phone and then they don't even notice the plastic sides. So for me, I have been using the Nord caseless for a week, and the plastic sides did not bother me at all. It does feel a little cheap, not gonna lie, it does feel a little cheap, but frankly, in my opinion, that don't matter. I have seen a little scratches on my phone on the top where the plastic frame is, but I think that might be because the way I put my phone in my pocket, which is the top first. So I think because of that, the scratches are present on my unit. I can't say for others, but if you're putting a case on your phone, you will not notice the scratches anyways. So yeah, I recommend using a case, a good one. The sandstone bumper of OnePlus is actually really good, and I would definitely recommend you guys to put that one if you don't want scratches on your phone. So that is the only thing I noticed about the plastic sides. Again, it does feel a little cheap, but if you're going to put a case on your phone anyway, so that would not be, or that should not be an issue for you, because again, you won't even notice the sides if you have a case on. So another thing I noticed about the build is the initial days when I picked up the phone from the box, it felt really lightweight, and I am not used to a lightweight phone. Prior to this, I was using the iPhone XR, which is a heavy phone, and also the Pixel 2 XL, which again is heavier than this phone. So it was a refreshing change to actually see a lightweight phone, and in my very honest opinion, using this phone as a daily, I have noticed that I pick this phone a lot comparing to the times I was picking up my iPhone or the Pixel. So lightweight phones is actually really good, and I like how it feels in my hand. So again, if you don't want a heavy phone, you should definitely consider getting this phone and use it. So yeah, that was all about the build quality, and from me personally, this gets a definite 8 on 10 rating for build quality. So now let's move on to the display, which is the most controversial part of this phone. So it is a 6.44 inch display, and it is actually really good. Again, it has the 90Hz refresh rate with also the addition of Gorilla Glass 5. The blacks are really blacks, and the colors are definitely punchier than all other devices that I've owned. So for me, I could only compare this to my iPhone and my Pixel, and comparing with both the devices, I find the color levels on the OnePlus to be very good. And if you want to tweak the display, you can just go into the settings real quick and go into display, go into advanced, go into the screen calibration. And I have seen a lot of comments on my video, people saying that the display feels a little warmer or feels a little colder. So if you have that issue, you can select advanced and you can actually tweak the display to be either cold. So if you have a warm display, select cold. If you have a cold display, go to warm. Another thing is, if you don't like the punchy colors, you can select the natural, which will tone down the colors and it will actually give you the sRGB or the natural look that the phone has. But personally, I do like vivid mode and it actually really looks good on the phone. And if you go into advanced, again you have all these options as well. So display P3, sRGB, and then AMOLED wide gamut. So if you want to select either of them, you're good to go. But again, tweak your display as you like it. So don't just listen to what I'm saying. Vivid is actually really good, but if you want to tweak your display furthermore, you can select or you can actually tweak it as per your liking. Then the next thing to talk about is the display ratio. So this is a 20:9 aspect ratio, and watching widescreen movies on this or widescreen videos on this, for example this video, is actually really good. It actually looks good and you get minimum black bars on your phone because it's again 20:9 and the widescreen or the ultra wide movies are 21:9. This screen actually feels really good to watch movies on from like Netflix or YouTube. Just search for ultra wide videos and just look at it. It actually will feel really good. The notch does interfere while you watching a movie, but that again you get adjusted to it within few hours. So that's not a big issue. But again, if you don't like the notch being there, you can just go into settings again and you can go into display, you can go into advanced again, go into the front camera display area and select the hide the front camera. So what this will do is it will push everything down and will just hide the notch if you don't like it. So now you can enjoy your full uninterrupted display watching movies or YouTube video. So I personally don't like keeping or hiding the front camera, so I'll just deselect that. And yeah, so if you don't like it, select it. If you do like the punch hole and how it looks on your phone, there's no need to select that. So now let's talk about the display issues that people were facing initially and if it has come down a bit or not. So for me, I still do have the pink tint issue and it has not gone. I did not ever had the green tint issue, so I had no issues with green tint from the day I took it out of the box. I did not have the green tint issue, but I still do have the pink tint, and OnePlus said they are pushing updates to actually fix the green tint or the pink tint issues. But as for now, the software version I'm running here is 10.5.4. You can see, as you can see, 10.5.4. And even in this latest software, I don't see the pink tint fixed anywhere on the screen. So you will not notice it if you have the light mode running, but as soon as you go into dark mode, or if you basically have a dark grayish background, not even deep blacks, but a grayish background, you will definitely see the tint on your phone. But for me, again, as I said, I don't have the green tint issue. I only have the pink tint on my phone. But let's say you have the pink tint issue, or let's say you have the green tint issue, or if you have both the issues. So first things first, if you have the pink tint issue, I would definitely recommend you guys to not replace the phone at all. Chances are you'll get another unit with both the tints. So if you just have the pink tint, chances are after replacing you'll get the green tint as well. So please do not replace at all if you have just the pink tint, or if you just have the punch hole band on the top, do not replace your phone at all. Only if you have the pink and the green tint both at the same time, you can go for a replacement or a return, so you can get your money back. But if you just have the pink tint and you're actually good with the phone, or the phone actually performs pretty good, then there is actually no need of replacing the phone. You can just go ahead with the use the phone normally. But then again, if you don't like the tints at all, definitely go for a return and don't replace the phone, because chances are you'll get another device with the issues as well. So if you don't like the tints at all, do a return, get your money back and buy something else. But then again, if you are okay with using the phone with the tints, again, you're good to go. You have no issues with the phone, because other than that, the phone actually works really good. I have no issues. Is the reason why I still did not issue a return or a replacement because the phone is actually that good. So that was all about the display, and again please note what all I said about the replacement and the returns. So yeah, that's been it for the display. Now let's move on to the another category, which is the battery life. And oh my god, battery life on this device has been awesome. I end the day, not gonna lie, with almost 30 or 35% of the battery still remaining in this phone. So if now I go into settings, if I go into battery real quick, and if I see the last full charge was 16 hours ago, so I take off the phone of the charger at around 12 a.m. in the night. So today I have not been using it that much, but even if I use it, I do end up with 30 or 35% when the night ends by around 10:30 or 11 p.m. at the night. So if I just quickly go into my battery usage, so as I said, today I have not used it a lot. I've just listened to songs or made a video call. That's all I did today. But even if you use your phone a lot, there is no chance that you will kill this battery in a day. So I'll post a screenshot on the screen right now of the battery life that I got on day 1 while me installing all the apps, and I still ended up with 33% left on my phone. But again, this is considering that I do not game on my phone at all. So if you see, I have no games in my app drawer and I don't game at all on my phone. So my days are just listening to music, browsing social media, do a video call, or oh yeah, that is pretty much it. That is what I do. I don't even consume media on my phone. I have my PC for that. So all I do is just browse social media, click pictures here and there, or attend a video call, or listen to music. That's all I do. If you play games, chances are you might drain it before midnight or before the day ends. But again, the warp charger on this phone is god. So it charges my phone from 50 to 100 in half an hour, and that's not a joke. So the other day I had 50% of charge around 11:30 p.m. at night, and I put it on charge, and before 12 it was full, and it genuinely was full. So if you have less battery, like around 20% or let's say 10%, it will take not more than 1 hour 15 minutes for it to completely charge. So that is really good, and the warp charger is actually pretty great. The one thing I don't like about this phone is it does not have wireless charging. I've got a wireless charger that I use for my iPhone, and I would have liked seeing a wireless charger for this phone as well. But other than that, the battery is actually pretty good. So yeah, no complaints on the battery. So now let's go a little off topic and talk about the customization that you can do on this phone. So first things first is, if you go into settings, you can see a customization tab here, and you have got ton of options here to choose from. So you have the accent color that you can select any color from. If you go back, you have the tone. So you can select colorful, you can select light, or you can select dark mode. If you go back, we have the system icons to shapes. So you have plenty shapes here. Then if you go back, you have the icon pack, which is oxygen or the hydrogen, or you can also download icon packs from the Play Store and put it on the launcher. Then if you go back, we have the font. So I like the Roboto font, but if you prefer the OnePlus Slate, you can go for that as well. But going back, we also have wallpapers, we have clock styles. So there are plenty to choose from. And again, this is not the always on display clocks, it's just the clock when you get the notifications. Then we have the fingerprint animation. I personally don't like any animation on my phone, so I keep it on none. But these are all the options that you get with the phone itself. So this is the one customization that you get. Another one is, if you go into the home screen and tap and hold to settings, to the home settings, you have a little customization here as well. So you can actually select the launcher layout, so to home screen only, or the home screen and app drawer. Then we have the home screen layout. You can select the layout, you have the icon size, you have the app label. So if you don't like the app names on the home screen, you can hide that as well. So yeah, this is a bit of a customization that OxygenOS provides with the OnePlus devices, which you would not or will not get with other phones. So this is the one thing that I like using OxygenOS, is that you get ton of customization with the phone. So that is a pretty good thing. So let's go into the performance of this phone now. And oh my god, Snapdragon 765G, people underestimated this processor, but honestly it is actually pretty great. So the variant I'm using here is the 12 plus 256 gigs, and the RAM is actually really good. So I have plenty apps in the background right now, and it opens all the apps instantly, as you can see, and the RAM management is actually really good. So again, all the apps open instantly. So there you go, Spotify opens instantly, takes a bit time to load, but it opens the app pretty instantly. Then again, as I said, the RAM management is really good. So if I open photos, as you can see, you get all the photos. I can't really comment on the gaming performance of this phone, but what I've heard from other people is it can do gaming really good as well. So you don't actually, I think you don't get the extreme mode on PUBG, but all other mode works just fine. And again, as I said, I don't game a lot on my phone, or I mean I don't do gaming at all on my phone. So that is another thing that you should consider if you're gaming. Like if you are a hardcore gamer, go for the 70 with the Snapdragon 800 series processor. But if you don't game a lot, or if you're not a hardcore gamer per se, you can go for the Snapdragon 765G and you will have no issues using this phone in day-to-day life. So again, as I said, RAM management is good. The day-to-day performance is good as well. So 90 Hz, again, as I said, you can actually feel it while using the phone. So that is actually pretty good. So Snapdragon 765G should not be an issue if you are considering using this phone as your daily. So because again, as you can see, apps open really instantly on the phone, and yep, there we go. So even if I open this app, again it's in the background. So day-to-day performance on this phone for me while using it for a week or more than a week has not been an issue at all. The performance is good, and again you can go for this phone over the Xiaomi or the Realme or basically any other brand that promises the 800 processor but has a software so bloated that the performance actually lags while actually using the phone in day-to-day life. So Oxygen OS plus the Snapdragon processor is actually optimized to the point that I have not noticed any lag while using the phone in the week that I have been testing it. So the next topic is the camera, and again this is the second important part that people consider while buying a phone, is how good the camera is. So personally, if you go into the camera real quick, which is the stock camera, you have three lenses at the back. So you have the main, you have the wide, and then you have the telephoto. You don't actually have a telephoto lens. It digitally zooms in to the image, so it's not actually zooming in through a lens, it's just digitally zooming in from the main sensor. So you have these three lenses in the front, and if you switch the camera, you have the two at the back. So one is the normal, second is the ultra wide angle, so wide and ultra wide. So you have these two lenses on the front. Then again, if you go back and if you go into video, you have the 4K recording on the phone. So if you go into settings, you can see you have the resolution to 4K 30 on the back camera and 4K 60 on the front camera. So this is the thing I like on this phone. I personally don't use 4K 60. I like 4K 30, so I use 4K 30. But you have a Cine option on the phone, so it will actually give you the 21:9 recording. So you actually can see black bars on the top and the bottom. So it actually will record in the 21:9 ratio or the Cine ratio that you actually get to see in movies. So that is the thing I like in this phone. And again, you also have the wide angle and the normal while recording the video as well. But personally speaking, I never used stock camera on any other phone than the Pixel. So I actually have installed a Google camera mod on this phone, and again if you want to install this, the video link will be in the description down below. I have explained the steps to install the Google camera on my other video, so if you want to install that, go ahead and check it out. But again, you have plenty of options here in the Google camera. You don't, or you will not get the ultra wide sensor neither on the front nor on the back, but the main sensor or the main camera performs a lot better than the actual stock camera. So what I'll do is I'll now put a few sample photos on the screen for you to actually see how the camera performs, stock versus Google camera. Not a lot. I'll put a high resolution link in the description down below for you to actually see the difference. But right now I'll just put a couple of photos on the screen for you to see how the camera actually performs. So those were all the camera samples, and you saw it for yourself how the camera performs in day-to-day life of using the phone. So again, I would recommend you guys to install the Google camera mod. Again, that link will be in the description down below. So yeah, install the Google camera and go snapping pictures. So now all the 6 points are done, and I just want to again touch on a few other things that people would like to know. First things first is the call quality. and on this phone the call quality has been really good. And again, I have not seen any call drops with the phone. The enhanced 4G works fine as well. I get the 4G plus icon at the top, so the call quality and the calls are actually pretty good. Second thing is the speaker, and the speakers are also really good. The speakers are quite loud, but they lack bass. The treble is a little much. I don't like much of a treble, but the treble is actually a little bit higher than the bass, so you can tweak that in the equalizer if you want, but by default the treble is a little bit higher than the bass. I personally would have liked a little bit of a bass by default, but then again you can tweak that if you want in the settings. Then comes the buttons, and the buttons on the phone are actually really good. They are clicky, they are tactile, and I do like the alert slider that actually lets you switch from silent to vibrate to all sounds. So I do personally like that, and that actually feels really good. So then again, no complaints on the buttons as well. The power and the volume buttons are also pretty good. Then comes the overall feel of the phone. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the phone feels pretty light in hand. It feels pretty good. You have a nice grip when you hold it, but only if you put your phone in the pocket, and if you go sit somewhere, the phone will slide out of your pocket if you don't have a case on the phone. So that is the only thing that you should keep in mind, that the phone will and it does slide from the pocket. So other than that, the phone is actually pretty good. So coming on to the question if you should buy it or not, if you have a price budget of under 30,000, I would definitely recommend this phone to you guys. This phone is actually really good. But if your main focus is on the camera, I would say wait for the Pixel 4a when it will come out and look for the price what it offers, and only then make the decision. But for now, if you actually want a phone right now, and if your budget is under 30,000, go for this phone. You must not see for any other options. Just buy this phone and you will be good to go. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. This was my OnePlus Nord review, and I do really like the phone. As I said, I have been using this phone as my personal phone for a week, or more than a week probably by now. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more content on the OnePlus Nord. So yeah, for now that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.